Hey guys, welcome back to Ruck and Roll. And in today's one, we're actually going to be reacting to Eddie Jones clashes with New Zealand rugby fans. This was posted by Rugby Pass, and it was taken out of the breakdown show in New Zealand that's on Sky Sport. And it was just, it was super interesting. I have had a quick look at it, but I thought I'd react to it with you guys. If you haven't watched this, tell me what you think of this.
We always look forward to Eddie Jones's press conferences. Well, Jeff, he had the privilege of chatting to Eddie Jones.
Look at Jeff sighing.
Eddie, I know you hate to lose, but in terms of taking a step forward, was that the performance you were looking for? And did you learn more about that group tonight?
Well, there's no cup rugby in it. You know, you got to go to the last minute of the game. Look, I thought we played exceptionally well the first 40 minutes, put ourselves in a position to win a game. But these clowns over here, mate, I'm going to go over and have a chat to them because they're not good supporters, mate. And they should behave a bit better.
Is this guy disillusional?
It's quite disrespectful. It's disappointing because
come on,
a good rugby
come
city.
on.
We shouldn't have clowns like that behaving like that. But you know, we haven't got the capacity to keep doing it for long periods, and that's our problem. So we've got to develop that.
Look how he jumps from one thing to another thing.
Physical, it's probably a bit of both. We know that. But certainly we've got a game good enough to trouble anyone in the world.
They're not reflective of us, Eddie, in terms of we have so much respect for you and your side, and I think you see that between these two teams. This team took a step up, though, and the way you wanted to play, particularly inexperienced.
Let me just jump in there quickly. I mean, give it to Jeff Wilson, still showing the respect to Eddie Jones and not reacting to his antics. But, I mean, really, it's disappointing when you find someone like Eddie Jones that's constantly picking fights with fans. Fans are always going to be fanatical about their own team. You coming to another country and expecting their fans to change for you, I mean, it's kind of arrogant, and it's a bit disillusional. I don't know what is his thing with the media, with everyone, him thinking people need to all agree with him and show him respect. He almost feels like someone owes him something, and he's got some kind of chip on his shoulder that he respects the world, expects the world to respect him. Unfortunately, you've got to do a little bit better than this, Eddie, if you want the whole world to respect you. I'm not saying he hasn't done amazing things in his past, but he's getting a lot older. He's already turning this team around, don't get me wrong, but don't demand things from people. Be higher than that. You're a coach. Surely you can use the common sense that the rugby fans are there to have fun and support their own team. They're not there to impress the opposition's coach. So I know it is not sportsmanlike for people to get ugly next to the field, but it's always going to happen. And you got to be, you know, a level higher than that if you're the coach. He's just very emotional and really gets involved in silly things. But let's hear what else he's got to say.
Players, you must feel good about where you can move to from here.
Well, you never feel good after a loss, mate. I tell you, you never feel good after a loss. Players are hurting. Yeah, I feel
of course.
Terrible.
But it's a.
We are
but
improving.
yes.
With plenty of potential.
Yes.
Talent, but we've got to be able to.
So you know you are doing well.
Test match rugby is about 80 minutes, and you got to keep doing it. Got to keep doing the hard things. And congratulations, New Zealand. Yeah, they kept going. They kept contesting hard, and they got the result.
You're going to keep working hard. Thanks for joining us after a game which is a difficult result. But we look forward to seeing you at the Rugby World Cup.
Thanks.
He has done well. He did well with them.
Oh, he's always good. I want to know, who are the clowns? Who are the clowns Eddie's talking about?
Who's the
I'll tell you,
clowns?
that was awkward. When you're asking one question, all of a sudden, I didn't really want to look behind me, but clearly there was some fans who were doing something which maybe were a little bit disrespectful, which I don't like and appreciate.
Yeah, really sure, but come on.
One question interview where I'm in.
Come on, you can't control the world.
But I think the biggest thing for Eddie is his challenge was selection coming into the season, was knowing his players, understanding his players and what he's got. I think now with some of the talent he's discovered, he's starting to commit to, I think they're dangerous. You've mentioned it, Mills, on a number of occasions. You think with where they are on their side of the draw and what I saw to some guys, Angus Bell.
Well, they've got a great opportunity.
Tom Hooper, which you had a chat to a little bit later on the night, really respectful, classy young man.
Red wine, actually.
Discussing red wine?
Well, you want to talk about tackling. I had no idea what he was talking about there.
Well, he does plenty of that.
No, I thought he was really, really solid. I thought
they played well.
I felt sorry for Gordon. I was so happy he missed that kick but that was a big kick, right?
Carter Gordon.
So Carter Gordon's kick was big, but this guy has been epic.
Yeah,
There's few guys
strong,
that have
that
stood up
guy.
on the side. When Eddie says they're getting better, I think there's 3 or 4 world-class players right now that are stepping up for them.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, they'll be the guys that need to continue to step up in the World Cup.
Look how much they've improved in 1 week, right?
I mean, let's just say, let me just say, I mean, for me, I think that's the thing for the Wallabies. Eddie knows that he's in the light side pool. You can say what you want. You've got the top heavy side, and then you've got the rest of the countries, and he is in that side. And with the form that he's starting to create, you know, you still got to back these guys to make a definite semis, get it to the semis. If they can just pull themselves together enough, they can make it to the semis. It is quite possible, and a lot of people might not agree with me. Just remember, they've pretty much played probably... I know France is still number 1 in the world, but they've probably played the strongest team in the world, and that second game they really didn't do badly. So, yeah, to say to really gauge them is very hard right now, just after this one game. But I can tell you one thing, definitely. If you look at their pool and you see how the other teams have performed the last week, they have a shot. They have a shot at this.
And what's still to come. Yes, it's a long time over there to get the game together. So they've still got plenty of time to keep building. But one thing is that we're seeing is he's, you know, that connection. We're talking about our 9 and 10s. You know, he hasn't had the luxury. He's had a captain that's been out. They've used 4 captains this year. You know, so he doesn't have that luxury. So he's still trying to find that combination. But one thing for me is that, like Bell's starting to step up. We haven't seen that from him before. You know, his open game, but also Carter Gordon, the youngster. You know, he's young. He's starting to attack the line. So the more they grow in the next few sort of weeks, they'll be a big threat, considering the side of the draw they're on.
I'll just say, we always talk about combinations, and all of a sudden Fraser right at 7, Fetcher, genuine Fetcher, Valentini carrying the ball, and then they had...
I got to tell you what they're saying there with Fraser Wright. Yeah, I mean, Fraser Wright was such good at fetching in the game, this last game.
Because his front 5 aren't going forward. But then yesterday they were going forward, and he was coming off the back of the scrum mills. And so if they can get their game complete, and front row is their problem. I mean, they got pumped in the second half, but they lost a couple of props. In fact, I didn't know why I came back on. Must have been
their set piece was dismal.
But, you know, if they don't sort their front 5 out, he's still going to have a long tournament. But they're getting better.
You talk about them being on the easy side of the draw, but in their pool they've still got Fiji and Wales. Wales just beat England. Fiji just beat Japan. Can they make it out of their pool? Are you confident that they will be 1 or 2?
I'm confident they will. I think the Wallabies will come out. Fiji's going to be the big one for me, you know. And do they pick up the second one over Wales? I mean, I know the Wales, but they've still
I don't think so.
a few issues.
Personally, I don't think so. I think it's got to be.
I think the Wallabies will go through.
It's got to be Wallabies, Wales.
I read nothing into those results for those teams that are playing their first game in a long, long time. We'll talk about those a little
But
bit later
yeah,
on,
Fiji's got a shot.
It's Fiji, I think, that get out of their pool as well. I think it's Wales who are under threat. Fiji were really, really good last night for the
Don't
second
know,
half I
man.
watched. They were amazing.
Wales is also looking
Australia
good.
are naming their Rugby World Cup squad on Thursday. They've used 4 captains. Who is their captain for the World Cup? Do they keep Tate McDermott or do they go somewhere else? You liked him, JK?
Yeah, I think they keep him. I think what Eddie traditionally does, he very quickly gets rid of the players he doesn't like or trust. No opinion on whether he's right or not. And then very quickly he settles on his leadership group and he plays them, and he plays them, and he plays them. And I think he'll stick with them for sure.
I agree, absolutely. I thought he showed great leadership, great composure. I like some of the impact they had off the bench. I think they got that selection right. All of a sudden, Will Skelton, just for 25 or 30, he can have a bigger impact for them.
They did well. They did well. Hey guys, they did well. Australia did do well. In my opinion, I don't see how they cannot get through their pool. And if they get through their pool, they're even playing out against the lighter teams in the other pool. So they will not be seeing the likes of France, South Africa. If Scotland gets through, or South Africa, at this point, I don't know. And I'm a Springbok supporter. Ireland, I mean, the All Blacks, they won't be seeing any of those guys until a semi. I mean, yes, they might see Argentina, they might see teams like that, England, but they've got a very, very good opportunity if they can pull themselves together, the Wallabies, to make it to a semi. And then it's 2 games away from the finals. So, guys, if you enjoyed what I had to say and you like my reaction, like always, I ask you, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't matter, even if I've gone over the 1,000 mark of subscribers, let's keep growing it. And I appreciate all of you watching always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.